I think the best way to think about sound selection is like painting a picture where each part of the picture is a sound and it all kind of matches together and works together. This might be an obvious thing, but when you consider that idea with the drums, you start thinking of the drums as being a part of the melody rather than some kind of like an addition. But, if you take like a sine wave, right? So we have this very smooth sound, right? So if we try and find another sound, it'll probably be something along the lines of like this, right? Another idea is that if your sounds are all wide, trying to look for wider sounds also works, or the other way around. I think that sounds not pitched. It's pretty cool. Let's just do that. And so, for example, right, you have a melody like this. So, like something like that. Something like this. This probably like this sound. Yeah, and so since all the sounds are very quiet, it just kind of like rolls, right? There isn't anything that your brain kind of picks off on as like out of place. But you can also play with that. You can add sounds that specifically make your brain think like, "Oh, this is different." For that, we can, for example, take a sound like this. All right, that sounds pretty cool. I noticed if you use two of the same sound, but you play around with the octave, it kind of tricks your brain into thinking there's some kind of a crazy like sound design thing going on. Also, tap in with autochroma. I got it off of Rug Tracker. Hop on Rug Tracker and learn how to read Russian and download it. This plugin's kind of based. Alright, I think I pretty much have like the whole foundation together. Maybe even something like this. I just noticed I have 4,000 CPU usage. Alright, I feel like the only other sound that I could add is some kind of like a main lead that's really stands out of everything else. 4,200 CPU usage. That is great. All right, now let's export the whole thing. All right, that added like a little texture sort of thing to it. All right, so this right here is probably going to be like the final melody. So since all the sounds match, whenever you reverse it, like you can't really tell what's what. It all just sounds kind of beautiful. That's sort of the idea, I guess. I think I already have drums. I kind of forgot about that. But I'm going to add some other stuff. For these really ambient beats, I like using a lot of these little... this, but for this type of beat, you would want to use like a sub and maybe a cool Z.